Hello and a very warm welcome to you all. Have you ever held a piece of gold jewelry in your hand, perhaps a ring, a necklace, or a cherished family heirloom? Have you ever noticed those tiny, almost invisible markings stamped onto the metal? They're easy to miss, aren't they? But let me tell you, those little stamps are a secret language. They tell a story of purity, origin, and craftsmanship. It's a language that has been spoken for centuries, a silent conversation between the maker and the owner. This guide is your key to unlocking that language. We're going to embark on a fantastic journey together, exploring the fascinating world of gold hallmarks and turning you into a confident connoisseur. These small but mighty marks are your guarantee, your certificate of authenticity, all neatly tucked away on the inside of a ring shank or on the clasp of a bracelet. Think of them as the jewelry's passport. They confirm its identity and its quality. Without them, you're buying blind, relying solely on the word of the seller. With them, you have power. You have knowledge. This knowledge protects you from fakes and ensures you get exactly what you're paying for. It's all about making you a smarter buyer, a more informed collector, and giving you the confidence to navigate the glittering world of gold with ease and assurance. Imagine you're at a bustling antiques fair or a car boot sale, a real treasure trove of possibilities. You spot a lovely gold locket. It looks the part, it feels right, but how can you be sure it's genuine solid gold and not just gold-plated? The answer, my friends, is in the hallmark. Being able to read that hallmark instantly tells you its story. It reveals the purity of the gold, where it was assayed, and sometimes even the year it was made. It's like having a secret weapon in your pocket, transforming a hopeful guess into a certain bargain. It's the difference between finding a cheap and cheerful trinket and discovering a real Bobby Dazzler. Our journey will take us through every nook and cranny of this captivating subject. We'll start with the very basics, understanding what a hallmark is and why it's so incredibly important. We'll decipher the numbers, the letters, and the symbols that make up this intricate system. From the common purity marks like 750 for 18-karat gold to the more obscure maker's marks and date letters, we'll leave no stone unturned. By the end of this guide, you won't just see a piece of jewelry. You'll be able to read its history, understand its value, and appreciate its craftsmanship on a whole new level. So let's get started, shall we? Trust is the cornerstone of any valuable transaction, and nowhere is this more true than in the world of precious metals. When you buy a piece of gold, you are making an investment. You are placing your faith in the item's declared value. Hallmarks are the physical embodiment of that trust. They are a legally binding guarantee of quality, independently verified by an official assay office. This system wasn't created overnight, it was developed over centuries to protect consumers from fraud. It ensures a level playing field where everyone, from the grandest jeweler in Bond Street to a humble market stall holder, is held to the same high standard of honesty and transparency. Think about it this way: gold is an intrinsically valuable material, but it's also very soft. To make it durable enough for jewelry, it must be mixed with other metals, creating an alloy. The hallmark tells you the exact proportion of pure gold in that alloy. Without this standardized system, a seller could claim a piece is 18-karat gold when it's only 9-karat, and you would be none the wiser until it was too late. The hallmark removes this uncertainty. It's a clear, unambiguous statement of fact, stamped right onto the item itself. It's a promise of quality that you can see and touch, providing peace of mind and protecting the value of your purchase for years to come. This system of trust is not just for the buyer's benefit, it also protects the honest jeweler and craftsman. By adhering to hallmarking laws, reputable sellers can distinguish their high-quality wares from inferior or counterfeit goods. It allows them to demonstrate their commitment to quality and build a lasting reputation based on integrity. When you see a clear, legitimate hallmark, you know you are dealing with a professional who stands by their product. It is a mark of pride for the maker and a beacon of assurance for the buyer. This mutual trust is what keeps the jewelry trade thriving and ensures its long and storied heritage continues with integrity. Therefore, learning to read these marks is more than just an interesting hobby, it's an essential skill for anyone interested in buying, selling, or collecting gold jewelry. It empowers you to make informed decisions, to verify claims, and to appreciate the true worth of an item. It builds a bridge of transparency between you and the seller, removing doubt and creating a fair exchange. As we delve deeper, You will come to see these tiny stamps not as mere technical details, but as the very foundation upon which the entire precious metals industry is built. They are a testament to a long history of consumer protection and a vital tool for today's savvy shopper. Now let's get down to the real nitty-gritty, the numbers themselves. The most common and most important part of a hallmark is the purity mark, often called the fineness mark. This number tells you how much pure gold is in your item, expressed in parts per thousand. For instance, pure gold, which is too soft for most jewelry, is considered 1,000 parts out of 1,000. So if you see the number 999 stamped on a gold bar, you know it's as pure as it gets. Or 99.9% pure gold. This numerical system is a universal language understood by dealers and collectors across the globe, providing a straightforward way to assess the gold content and, consequently, its base value. Let's look at the most common numbers you'll encounter on jewelry. One you'll see often is 750. This simply means that the item is made of an alloy that contains 750 parts pure gold out of 1,000, with the remaining 250 parts being other metals like copper, silver, or palladium. In the more familiar carat system, this equates to 18 karat gold. 18 divided by 24 equals 0.75 or 75%. So a 750 stamp is your guarantee of 18 karat quality. Another very popular mark is 585, which corresponds to 14 karat gold, meaning it has 58.5% pure gold content. It's a fantastic, durable choice for everyday wear. Moving down the scale, you might find pieces marked with 375. This indicates 375 parts of pure gold per thousand, which is the standard for 9 karat gold. While it has a lower gold content, 37.5%, it is incredibly strong and more affordable, making it a very popular choice, particularly here in the UK. In other parts of the world, especially in Asia, you are more likely to see 916, which signifies 22 karat gold. This type of gold has a beautiful, rich yellow color due to its high purity of 91.6%, but it is also softer and more susceptible to scratches and dents. Understanding these numbers is the first and most crucial step in evaluating any piece of gold. One of the most important tips I can give you right from the start is to always match the hallmark number with the price. If a seller is offering a piece they claim is 18 karat gold, but the price seems too good to be true, your first check should be the hallmark. If you find a 375 stamp instead of a 750, you've uncovered the truth. The piece is 9 karat, not 18 karat, and the price should reflect that. This simple check can save you from overpaying and ensures you walk away with a fair deal. This knowledge puts you in the driver's seat, allowing you to buy with absolute confidence. So we've had a little taster, a glimpse into the wonderful world of hallmarks, but believe me, we've only just scratched the surface. This guide is designed to be your complete A to Z companion, your trusted reference for everything hallmark related. We are going to build your knowledge step by step, starting from these fundamental numeric marks and moving on to more complex and fascinating aspects of the system. We will arm you with all the information you need to identify, understand, and value gold jewelry like a seasoned professional. Think of me as your personal guide on this treasure hunting expedition. In the coming chapters, we'll move beyond the numbers and explore the world of letter stamps. What does GP or GF mean? It's crucial to know, as these stamps indicate that a piece is not solid gold, but is instead gold-plated or gold-filled. We will also take a trip around the world, examining the unique hallmarking systems of different countries. The compulsory marks required in the UK are quite different from the systems used in Italy, India, or the USA. Understanding these global variations is key for anyone buying jewelry from international sellers or on their travels abroad. It's a truly global language with its own fascinating local dialects. But wait, there's more. We'll investigate the intriguing maker's marks, the unique signature of the jeweler or company that created the piece. We'll show you how to identify the famous initials of iconic brands like Cartier or Tiffany & Company, which can add significant value beyond the gold content alone. We'll also uncover the secrets of date letters, a clever system used in some countries to pinpoint the exact year an item was hallmarked. You'll be able to look at a ring and not only know its purity, but also tell that it was made in London in, say, 1978. It's like being a detective of jewelry history. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, we will equip you with the knowledge to protect yourself. We will dedicate a whole section to spotting fakes and understanding the red flags. We'll look at sloppy engravings, incorrect purity codes, and the tricks that fraudsters use to deceive unwary buyers. We will even cover the basics of gold testing, from simple home methods to the high-tech equipment used by the experts. This guide is your complete toolkit. It's here to build your confidence, sharpen your eye, and ensure that every piece of gold you buy is a genuine treasure. Your journey into the secret world of gold hallmarks starts now. Let's dive in. Let us begin our deep dive with the king of all purity marks, the number 999. When you see this stamp, you are looking at gold in its most unadulterated form. The number 999 signifies that the metal is 999 parts pure gold out of 1,000, or 99.9% pure. This is what is commonly referred to as 24 karat gold. There is no higher grade. It's the benchmark, the absolute standard against which all other gold alloys are measured. Its color is a deep, rich, almost orange yellow that is unmistakably pure. Holding a piece of 999 gold feels different. It has a certain weight and density that speaks to its incredible purity. It's a truly special material. However, you won't often find jewelry stamped with 999. Why is that? The very quality that makes it so precious, its purity, also makes it incredibly soft and malleable. Pure gold can be easily bent, scratched, and dented with just your fingernail. This makes it highly impractical for crafting items that are meant to be worn every day, like rings or bracelets. A 24 karat gold ring would quickly lose its shape and become covered in scuffs and scrapes. It simply cannot withstand the rigors of daily life. For this reason, 999 fineness is almost exclusively reserved for investment-grade bullion, such as coins and bars, where its value lies in its raw material, not its durability as an ornament. When you do encounter the 999 stamp, it's typically on items meant for secure storage rather than display. Think of the Canadian maple leaf or the American buffalo gold coins. These are famous examples of 999 fine gold. They are purchased by investors who want to own physical gold as a store of value. In some cultures, particularly in China, small, intricately crafted 24 karat gold charms or symbolic pieces are given as gifts for special occasions like weddings or the birth of a child. These are not intended for regular wear but are kept as treasured keepsakes and a form of family wealth, a beautiful and tangible asset for the future. So while the 999 hallmark represents the ultimate in gold purity, its role in the world of jewelry is limited. It is the raw ingredient, the precious foundation from which most wearable gold items are derived. Think of it as the finest silk thread, beautiful and valuable on its own, but needing to be woven with other fibers to create a strong, lasting fabric. Understanding the 999 stamp is the first step to appreciating why gold is alloyed. It helps us see that mixing gold with other metals is not about diluting its value, but rather about enhancing its strength and practicality for the beautiful art of jewelry making. Now let's move down one step on the purity ladder to the number 916. This hallmark is your guarantee of 22 karat gold. The number means that the item consists of 916 parts pure gold out of 1,000, which equates to 91.6% purity. The remaining 8.4% is composed of other metals like silver, copper, or zinc. This small addition of alloys makes the gold significantly more durable than its 24 karat cousin, yet it retains much of that beautiful, intense yellow color that is so highly prized. When you see a piece of 916 gold, you are looking at a metal that has been a symbol of wealth and status for thousands of years, particularly in Asia and the Middle East. This type of gold is the traditional choice for high-end jewelry in countries like India, Singapore, and throughout the United Arab Emirates. It is deeply embedded in the culture, often forming the centerpiece of elaborate bridal jewelry sets. The reason for its popularity is twofold. Firstly, its high gold content gives it a magnificent warm glow that is considered highly auspicious and flattering against the skin. Secondly, it is still seen as a powerful form of investment. Families often purchase 916 gold jewelry, not just for adornment, but as a wearable asset, that can be passed down through generations or liquidated in times of need. It's a beautiful blend of fashion and finance. Despite being stronger than 24-karat gold, 916 gold is still quite soft compared to lower-carat alloys. It is more prone to scratching and bending than 18-karat or 14-karat gold. For this reason, it is generally used for pieces that are not subjected to heavy wear and tear, such as ceremonial necklaces, earrings, and bangles. It is less commonly used for rings, especially those intended for daily wear, as they would be more likely to get damaged. You also won't often find delicate or intricate stone settings in 22-karat gold, as the metal is too soft to hold the gemstone securely over a long period. The designs often focus on the beauty of the metal itself. When examining a piece marked with 916, pay close attention to the craftsmanship. Because the metal is so pliable, it allows for incredible artistry, with detailed engravings and elaborate patterns that would be more difficult to achieve on harder alloys. The hallmark itself is often accompanied by other marks, such as the Bureau of Indian Standards logo in India, which adds another layer of verification. Understanding the 916 mark opens up a whole world of stunning traditional jewelry and gives you an appreciation for how different cultures value and wear their gold. It represents a perfect harmony between high purity and wearable art. Let's travel west to Europe, where you will find the 750 hallmark reigning supreme. This stamp certifies that a piece is 18-karat gold, meaning it contains 750 parts of pure gold per thousand, or a solid 75% gold content. The remaining 25% is a carefully balanced mix of alloy metals. This particular ratio is often considered the perfect sweet spot for fine jewelry. It offers a rich, luxurious color that is very close to that of purer gold, but it possesses a much greater degree of strength and durability. This makes it an ideal choice for crafting high-end pieces that are intended to last a lifetime and beyond, such as engagement rings and designer creations. The magic of the 750 alloy lies in its versatility. By changing the metals in that 25% portion, jewelers can create a stunning palette of different gold colors. For example, to create the classic 18-karat yellow gold, pure gold is typically mixed with a combination of copper and silver. To produce the elegant and fashionable 18-karat white gold, the pure gold is alloyed with white metals like palladium or nickel, and often plated with rhodium for a brilliant white finish. And for the warm, romantic hue of 18-karat rose gold, a higher proportion of copper is added to the mix. The 750 hallmark guarantees the gold content, no matter the final color of the piece. You will find the 750 stamp on jewelry from almost all the world's most prestigious brands. Houses like Cartier, Bulgari, and Van Cleef & Arpels predominantly use 18-karat gold for their creations. This is because its composition provides the ideal balance of properties. It is valuable and has a beautiful luster, yet it is strong enough to hold diamonds and other precious gemstones securely in intricate settings. It resists tarnish and corrosion very well, ensuring the piece maintains its beauty over many years. When you purchase a piece marked 750 from a reputable maker, you are investing in top-tier quality, both in terms of material and craftsmanship. For the discerning buyer, the 750 hallmark is a powerful indicator of quality. It signifies a piece that has not compromised on the richness of its gold content for the sake of durability. It is the standard for luxury. When you are considering a significant jewelry purchase, such as an engagement ring or a milestone anniversary gift, looking for the 750 mark is an excellent starting point. It assures you that you are getting a piece with substantial intrinsic value and the structural integrity to be worn and cherished for decades. It truly is the gold standard for fine, everyday luxury. Crossing the Atlantic, we arrive at the most popular choice for gold jewelry in the United States, the 585 hallmark. This number indicates that the item is 14-karat gold. The maths is straightforward. The alloy contains 585 parts of pure gold out of 1,000, which is 58.5% gold. The remaining 41.5% is made up of a robust blend of other metals. While it has a lower gold content than 18 karat, this is precisely what makes it so popular. The higher percentage of alloy metals gives 14-karat gold excellent durability and resistance to wear and tear, making it the perfect all-rounder for jewelry that is worn day in and day out. The appeal of 585 gold is its fantastic balance of durability, price, and beauty. Because it contains less pure gold than 18-karat, it is more affordable, making it accessible to a wider range of customers. At the same time, it still possesses a lovely golden luster, though slightly less intense than the higher carat alloys. Its true strength, however, lies in its resilience. It is much less likely to scratch or dent than 18-karat or 22-karat gold, which is why it is the #1 choice for items like wedding bands, charm bracelets, and everyday chains and pendants. It is designed to keep up with an active lifestyle without constant worry. Just like 18-karat gold, 14-karat gold can be produced in a variety of colors. Yellow gold remains the classic choice, but 14-karat white gold and rose gold are also extremely popular. In fact, because of the lower gold content, the colors can sometimes appear more distinct. For instance, 14-karat white gold often requires less rhodium plating to achieve a bright white look because the base alloy is less yellow to begin with. This versatility, combined with its strength, makes it a favorite among jewelers for creating a vast array of designs, from simple, elegant pieces to more complex settings that require strong prongs to hold gemstones securely. When you are shopping for gold jewelry, especially online or from American sellers, you will encounter the 585 mark frequently. It represents a smart and practical choice. You get a piece that is still majority precious metal by weight, but at a more approachable price point, and with the added benefit of superior toughness. Don't let the lower number fool you. 585 is a hallmark of quality, durable jewelry that is made to be worn and enjoyed. It's the perfect compromise for those who want the beauty of gold without the delicacy of higher carat options, making it the true workhorse of the jewelry world. Now we come to a hallmark that is incredibly common here in the UK and in other Commonwealth countries like Australia, the 375 stamp. This mark identifies the piece as 9-karat gold. It means the item contains 375 parts of pure gold per thousand, or 37.5% gold. The majority of the alloy, 62.5%, is composed of other metals, typically silver and copper. While some purists may look down on 9-karat gold due to its lower gold content, it is an immensely popular and practical choice for very good reasons. It is the most affordable and the most durable of all the common gold alloys, earning it the title of the Great British Workhorse. The primary advantage of 375 gold is its incredible strength. With a higher percentage of harder alloy metals, 9-karat gold is tough and highly resistant to scratches and dents. This makes it the perfect material for pieces that are subjected to a lot of wear, such as signet rings, school rings, or jewelry worn by people who work with their hands. Its robustness ensures that it can withstand the bumps and knocks of daily life far better than its higher carat counterparts. This durability, combined with its much lower price point, makes it an accessible entry point into the world of real gold jewelry for many people. The appearance of 9-karat gold is noticeably different from higher purity alloys. Its color is a more subtle, paler yellow due to the lower concentration of pure gold. Some people actually prefer this gentler hue, finding it less ostentatious than the bright yellow of 22-karat or 18-karat gold. As with other carats, it can also be made into 9-karat rose gold by increasing the copper content, or 9-karat white gold by using white alloy metals. However, it's worth noting that because of its higher alloy content, particularly copper, 9-karat gold can be more prone to tarnishing over time and may require more frequent polishing to maintain its shine. In the UK, 9-karat is the lowest purity that can be legally sold and described as gold. Anything below this cannot bear a gold hallmark. Therefore, the 375 stamp is your guarantee that you are buying a genuine, albeit lower purity, gold item. It is a fantastic choice for sentimental gifts, first pieces of real jewelry for a young person, or for creating large, bold designs that would be prohibitively expensive in a higher carat. Understanding the 375 hallmark allows you to appreciate these pieces for what they are: affordable, durable, and beautiful in their own right. So, we have journeyed through the 5 key numeric hallmarks, from the pure investment grade 999 down to the tough and trusty 375. Now comes the most important part, using this knowledge to make the right choice for you. There is no single best type of gold. The ideal choice depends entirely on a balance of three crucial factors: your budget, price, your aesthetic and investment desires, purity, and how you plan to wear the piece, practicality. By understanding the relationship between these three elements, you can select a piece of gold jewelry that you will love and cherish for years to come. Let's start with price and purity. These two are directly linked. The higher the purity number, the more parts of pure gold per thousand, the more expensive the item will be, assuming all other factors like weight and craftsmanship are equal. A 916 or 22 carat necklace will always have a higher intrinsic metal value than a 375 or 9 carat necklace of the same weight. If your primary goal is investment or you desire the rich, deep yellow color of nearly pure gold, you should aim for higher purities like 916 or 750. If you are working with a tighter budget, 585 or 14 carat, and 375 or 9 carat, offer the beauty of gold at a more accessible price. Next, you must consider practicality. This is where durability comes into play. Think honestly about how and when you will wear the jewelry. If you are buying an engagement ring that will be on your hand every single day, durability is paramount. A 585 or 14 carat or even a 750 or 18 carat piece would be a much more practical choice than a soft 916 or 22 carat ring, which would scratch and deform easily. Conversely, if you are buying a special occasion piece like a pair of earrings or a necklace for formal events, the softness of 22 karat gold is less of a concern, and you can prioritize its stunning color and high purity. Ultimately, the numeric hallmark is your guide to navigating these choices. It gives you the fundamental information you need to weigh your options. Do you want the luxurious feel and investment value of 750 gold for a special watch? Or do you need the bulletproof durability and affordability of 375 gold for a signet ring you'll never take off? There is no wrong answer. My advice is to always buy the highest purity you can comfortably afford for the piece's intended use. By matching the hallmark to your lifestyle and budget, you empower yourself to make a smart, informed decision that brings you joy every time you wear it. Now that we have a solid grasp of the numeric purity marks, it is time to turn our attention to another crucial set of identifiers: the letter stamps. While numbers tell you about the purity of solid gold, letters often tell you a different story altogether. These stamps, such as GF, GP, GE, or HGE, are incredibly important to understand because they indicate that the piece is not solid gold. Instead, they signify that the item has a thin layer of gold applied over a less expensive base metal like brass or copper. Knowing what these letters mean is absolutely vital to avoid paying a solid gold price for a gold-plated item. It's a common pitfall for the unwary buyer, but one you'll easily sidestep with this knowledge. Let's break down the most common letter stamps you will encounter. The letters GP stand for gold-plated, while GE means gold electroplated. Both describe a process where a very thin layer of gold is bonded onto a base metal using an electric current. This layer is often extremely thin, typically less than a micron, and can wear off over time with friction and exposure to skin oils. Another abbreviation you might see is HGE, which stands for heavy gold electroplate. This indicates a slightly thicker, more durable layer of plating, but it is still just a surface coating and not solid gold. These marks are legally required in many countries to distinguish plated items from solid gold ones. A slightly different and often higher quality category is marked with GF, which means gold-filled. This is a very different process from plating. In gold-filled jewelry, a much thicker layer of gold is mechanically bonded to the base metal using heat and pressure. By law, the gold content in a gold-filled item must be at least 1/20th or 5% of the total weight of the piece. For example, a stamp might read 1/20th 14 kgf. This means that 1/20th of the item's weight is 14 karat gold. This thick layer makes gold-filled jewelry far more durable and valuable than gold-plated items, and it will not tarnish or wear off easily. It's an excellent, affordable alternative to solid gold. Another term you might come across, especially on pieces with a sterling silver base, is vermeil. Pronounced vermeil, this signifies that the item is sterling silver, which itself is 92.5% pure silver, that has been plated with a layer of gold. To be legally called vermile in the United States, the gold must be at least 10-carat purity and have a thickness of at least 2.5 microns. This makes vermile a high-quality type of plated jewelry, as its core is a precious metal. Always be vigilant for these letter stamps. They are not there to deceive, but to inform. Understanding them is your best defense against disappointment and ensures you know exactly what you are buying. Now let's take a trip around the world to see how different countries manage their hallmarking. We'll start right here in the United Kingdom, which boasts one of the oldest and most comprehensive hallmarking systems in the world, dating back to the 1300s. It is a legal requirement for any item sold in the UK as gold, silver, platinum, or palladium to be hallmarked, subject to certain weight exemptions. This isn't just a recommendation, it's the law. This stringent regulation provides an unparalleled level of consumer protection. When you buy a hallmarked piece in the UK, you can be absolutely certain of its precious metal content, as it has been independently tested and verified by an official assay office. A full traditional UK hallmark consists of several compulsory marks. The first is the sponsor's mark or maker's mark, which is a unique stamp of the company or person who submitted the item for hallmarking. The second is the fineness mark, which is the numeric purity code we've already discussed, like 375, 585, or 750. The third, and this is quite unique to the UK system, is the assay office mark. This tells you which of the 4 UK assay offices tested and marked the item. A leopard's head signifies London, an anchor means Birmingham, a rose is for Sheffield, and a castle represents Edinburgh. This adds a wonderful layer of provenance to the piece. For much of its history, the UK hallmark also included a compulsory date letter. This was a letter of the alphabet in a specific font and shield shape that changed annually, allowing you to pinpoint the exact year the item was hallmarked. Imagine the thrill of looking at a ring and knowing it was assayed in London in 1975 just by looking at the letter A in a particular shield. While the date letter became an optional mark in 1999, you will still find it on a great deal of vintage and antique British jewelry, making it a fantastic tool for collectors and historians. It turns a simple piece of jewelry into a tangible piece of history, a real-time capsule. Finally, you might also see traditional fineness symbols, which are pictorial marks that used to be a primary part of the hallmark. For gold, the traditional symbol is a crown. Although the numeric mark is now the main indicator, you may still see these historic symbols used alongside it. The UK system is a beautiful example of a tradition that has evolved over 700 years to remain relevant. It is a robust, trustworthy, and informative system that gives buyers incredible confidence. If you see a full set of British hallmarks on a piece, you know you are looking at a genuine article with a verifiable story to tell. It's a benchmark for transparency worldwide. Leaving the UK, let's explore 2 other major players in the jewelry world, the United States and Italy. Their approaches to hallmarking are quite different from the British system and from each other, which is important to know if you're buying from these countries. In the United States, there is no compulsory, independent hallmarking system like in the UK. There is no government-run assay office that tests and stamps every piece. Instead, the US operates on a system of manufacturer's warranty. The maker or seller is legally responsible for stamping the item with its correct purity, such as 14K or 585, and they are legally liable if this mark is found to be false. This means that a typical American mark is much simpler. You will usually find just 2 stamps, the purity mark, for example 14K or 18K, and the manufacturer's trademark or maker's mark. The maker's mark is crucial in this system, as it identifies who is guaranteeing the purity. The law requires that if a purity mark is used, a registered trademark must be stamped right next to it. This system relies heavily on the integrity of the manufacturer and the enforcement of the National Gold and Silver Stamping Act. While it works well for reputable brands, the lack of independent verification means buyers must be more cautious and place their trust in the brand's reputation. Now let's jet over to Italy, a country renowned for its magnificent gold chains and high-fashion jewelry. Italy has a much more regulated system than the USA, but it is still different from the UK's. Italian law requires 2 specific marks on all gold and silver items. The first is the purity mark, which is typically the numeric fineness like 750 for 18 karat gold. The second, and this is the key part of the Italian system, is a unique identification mark. This stamp consists of a star symbol, a number, and a two-letter provincial abbreviation, all enclosed in a lozenge or polygon shape. For example, a stamp might read star 1AR. This unique Italian mark is a treasure trove of information. The star is a symbol of Italy, the number 1 is the unique registration number of that specific maker, and AR is the abbreviation for the province where they are registered, in this case Arezzo, a major center for Italian jewelry production. This system allows every single piece of Italian jewelry to be traced back to its specific creator, ensuring accountability. So, when you see this distinctive stamp, you know you're looking at a genuine piece made in Italy, and you can be confident in its quality and origin. Understanding these different national systems is key to being a truly global jewelry connoisseur. Our global tour now takes us to one of the largest and most passionate markets for gold in the world, India. For centuries, gold has been deeply woven into the fabric of Indian culture, used for adornment, investment, and religious ceremonies. For a long time, the market operated largely on mutual trust between local jewelers and their customers. However, to bring greater transparency and protect consumers nationwide, the government of India introduced the Bureau of Indian Standards, or BIS, hallmarking scheme. Since 2021, hallmarking has become mandatory for gold jewelry sold in most districts across the country, revolutionizing the industry and empowering buyers like never before. The BIS hallmark provides a clear and reliable guarantee of the gold's purity. A modern BIS hallmark for gold jewelry consists of 3 distinct symbols. The first is the iconic triangular BIS logo, which immediately tells you that the piece has been certified by the National Standards Body of India. This mark is a seal of approval, indicating that the item has been tested in a licensed BIS assaying and hallmarking center. Seeing this logo is the first and most important check when buying gold jewelry in India, as it separates certified items from unverified ones. It's a simple yet powerful symbol of trust for millions of consumers. The second component of the BIS hallmark is the purity or fineness mark. This indicates the caratage of the gold. The most common marks you will see are 916 for 22 karat gold, which is the traditional favorite for bridal and investment jewelry, 750 for 18 karat gold, and 585 for 14 karat gold, which are gaining popularity for more modern and lightweight designs. This numeric mark is often accompanied by the letter K to show the carat value, for example, 22K916. This part of the mark ensures there is no ambiguity about the exact gold content you are purchasing, aligning the Indian system with global standards. The most recent and technologically advanced addition to the Indian hallmark is the 6-digit alphanumeric hallmark unique identification, or HUID. This is a unique code stamped onto every single piece of jewelry at the time of hallmarking. This code allows the item to be traced throughout its entire journey, from the manufacturer to the assaying center, and finally, to the retailer. Consumers can even use the BIS Care mobile app to enter the HUID and instantly verify all the details of their jewelry, including the jeweler's name, the assaying center, and the purity. This system represents a tremendous leap forward in consumer protection, making the Indian gold market one of the most transparent in the world. Our final stop is the dazzling cosmopolitan hub of the United Arab Emirates, particularly Dubai, often called the City of Gold. The UAE is a massive global center for the gold trade, attracting shoppers from all over the world. To maintain its reputation for quality and trust, the government enforces a strict hallmarking system. Every piece of gold jewelry sold in the UAE must be stamped with a purity mark, typically the numeric fineness such as 916 for 22 karat or 750 for 18 karat. This is overseen by a central laboratory, such as the Dubai Central Laboratory, which conducts rigorous inspections and market surveillance to ensure all retailers comply with the law. While the primary mark in the UAE is the numeric fineness, you will often find other stamps as well. Many pieces will bear a maker's mark, and sometimes you will see marks from the country where the jewelry was originally manufactured before being imported into the UAE. For example, a piece made in India and sold in Dubai might carry both the BIS hallmark and the UAE required numeric stamp. A unique mark sometimes seen on gold sold in the region is the Barik certification mark, an optional quality mark issued by the Dubai Central Laboratory that provides an extra layer of assurance about the jewelry's compliance with technical standards. This focus on verifiable purity is what gives consumers the confidence to buy in Dubai's famous gold souk. Many other countries have their own unique systems. In France, for example, the state-controlled hallmark for gold is an eagle's head, with different shaped outlines indicating the assay office. In Switzerland, a country famous for its watches, the hallmark for gold is the head of a Saint Bernard dog. These pictorial marks are part of a rich European tradition. A significant step towards global standardization is the Convention on the Control and Marking of Articles of Precious Metals, also known as the Hallmarking Convention. Member countries of this convention recognize each other's hallmarks, which simplifies international trade. The convention's own mark is a set of scales, which you might see alongside a national hallmark. This journey through global systems shows us that while the goal of hallmarking, consumer protection and transparency is universal, the methods can vary greatly. From the comprehensive legal requirements in the UK and India to the manufacturer-led system in the USA, and the unique maker identification in Italy, each system has its own strengths. As a savvy buyer in an increasingly global marketplace, being aware of these differences is a powerful tool. It allows you to look at a piece of jewelry and not only understand its purity, but also to glimpse its origin story, whether it was crafted in a workshop in Birmingham, a studio in Arezzo, or a bustling bazaar in Dubai. Beyond the numbers and symbols that declare purity and origin, there lies another, more personal stamp, the maker's mark. This is the signature of the craftsman, workshop, or company that created the piece. In many hallmarking systems, like the UK's, this mark is compulsory, and is known as the sponsor's mark. It is typically a set of initials enclosed within a uniquely shaped shield or cartouche. Before a jeweler can send their work to be assayed, they must first register their unique mark with the assay office. This creates a permanent record, a direct link between the finished article and the individual or firm responsible for its creation. It is the ultimate mark of accountability. Think of the maker's mark as the artist's signature on a painting. It attributes the work to a specific hand, allowing us to trace its history and appreciate the skill of its creator. For collectors of antique and vintage jewelry, the maker's mark is often the most exciting part of the hallmark to research. A simple gold locket becomes infinitely more interesting when you can identify its maker as a renowned silversmith from Chester in the 1890s. This single stamp can open up a world of history, connecting a piece to a specific time, place, and artistic movement. It transforms an anonymous object into a tangible link to a past artisan and their story. The design of maker's marks can be incredibly varied. While most are simple initials, some are more elaborate, incorporating symbols or unique fonts. Over a long career, a single company might use several different marks, and tracking these changes can help to date a piece more precisely. For example, the famous London store Liberty & Company used various L & Co marks over the years. Identifying which specific mark is on your piece can help you narrow down its production date to a smaller window of time. This level of detail is what makes jewelry collecting so captivating. It's a form of historical detective work, with the maker's mark as a primary clue. For the modern buyer, the maker's mark is your guarantee of the maker's confidence in their own work. It says, "I made this, and I stand by its quality." When you see a clear, registered maker's mark alongside the purity stamp, it adds another layer of trust. It shows that the creator is not hiding, but is proud to be associated with the piece. Whether you're buying a brand new item or a treasured antique, take a moment to look for this personal signature. It is a testament to the pride and skill of the jeweler, and a vital part of the story your jewelry has to tell. While many makers' marks belong to individual artisans or smaller workshops, some initials have become globally recognized symbols of luxury and, honestly, unparalleled quality. These are the brand initials of the world's most famous jewelry houses. Marks like T&Co, VCA, or the intertwined Cs are more than just identifiers. They're powerful brands that can elevate the value of a piece far beyond its intrinsic metal and gemstone worth. Spotting these famous initials can mean the difference between finding a lovely piece of gold jewelry and discovering an incredibly valuable and collectible designer item. These marks represent a legacy of design, innovation, and prestige. Let's look at some of the most iconic examples. The stamp T & Co. is the signature of Tiffany & Company, the legendary American jeweler. Finding this mark on a piece, especially alongside a purity stamp like 750 or PT 950, is a sure sign of quality and timeless design. Similarly, the initials VCA accompanied by a serial number belong to the prestigious French house Van Cleef & Arpels, famous for its exquisite craftsmanship and iconic Alhambra motif. Cartier, another French giant, often uses a script Cartier signature but can also be identified by its specific maker's mark and serial number. These brands have built their reputations over a century or more, and their mark is a guarantee of that heritage. The value added by a top brand's mark can be immense. A simple 18-karat gold band may be worth a certain amount based on its weight. However, that same gold band stamped with Cartier and from their famous Love collection could be worth 10 times that amount or even more. This premium is for the design, the brand's history, the status it confers, and the assurance of exceptional quality. This is why counterfeiters often try to replicate these famous marks. It is crucial, therefore, to examine the quality of the stamp itself. Genuine brand marks are crisp, clean, and perfectly executed, whereas fakes are often shallow, blurry, or uneven. When you suspect you have found a piece from a major brand, further research is essential. Compare the mark to verified examples online. Look for other signs of authenticity, such as the quality of the finish, the precision of the stone settings, and the presence of a unique serial number. Many brands keep detailed archives, and in some cases it may be possible to have a piece authenticated by the brand itself. Learning to recognize these elite brand initials is a thrilling aspect of jewelry hunting. It trains your eye to look for the subtle signs of extraordinary value, turning you from a simple buyer into a potential treasure hunter. Now let's delve into one of the most fascinating components of the hallmarking system, particularly here in Britain, the date letter. For hundreds of years, the UK assay offices used a system where a specific letter of the alphabet was used to denote the year an item was tested and marked. Each year the letter would advance, for example, from A to B. To prevent confusion when the alphabet was exhausted, the style of the letter, its font, and the shape of the shield surrounding it were changed for each cycle. This clever system allows anyone with the right knowledge to pinpoint the exact year of hallmarking for a piece of antique or vintage British jewelry. Imagine holding a silver spoon or a gold ring in your hand. You look at the hallmark and see a lion, a leopard's head, and a maker's mark. But then you spot a letter EK in a distinctive Old English font inside a square shield. By consulting a date letter chart, you can discover that your item was hallmarked at the London Assay Office in the year 1725. Suddenly this object is no longer just a piece of metal, it's a 300-year-old artifact. It has a precise birthday. This ability to accurately date an item is invaluable for collectors, dealers, and historians, and it adds a profound sense of history and connection to any piece. Reading date letters requires a bit of detective work. First, you need to identify the assay office mark, as each office, London, Birmingham, Sheffield, and so on, had its own unique cycle of date letters. A letter A in London in 1876 looks very different from the A used in Birmingham in the same year. You will need a good set of reference tables, which are widely available in books and online. With a jeweler's loupe to get a clear view, you must carefully match the assay office mark, the letter itself, and the shape of its surrounding shield to the charts. It can be a challenging but incredibly rewarding puzzle to solve. Although the date letter ceased to be a compulsory part of the UK hallmark in 1999, it remains on millions of pieces that are still in circulation. Its legacy is immense. It provides a layer of information that is rare in the world of antiques. You are not just guessing an item's age based on style. You have a definitive, legally recorded date stamp. So the next time you are examining a piece of British jewelry, look closely for that single letter. It is a secret code waiting to be deciphered, a direct link to the year it was born, and a key that unlocks its unique place in history. Beyond identifying the maker and the date, some hallmarks can tell you about an item's national origins or celebrate a special moment in time. While not all countries require a specific country of origin stamp, many pieces intended for international export will bear one. For instance, pieces made in Italy for export might be stamped Italy in addition to their mandatory star, number, province mark. Similarly, Irish-made jewelry often bears the Ireland stamp. These marks were especially common in the mid-20th century to comply with import laws in countries like the United States, and they provide a clear and easy way to identify where a piece was made. A particularly lovely example of a national origin mark is found on jewelry made in Ireland and hallmarked at the Dublin Assay Office. The symbol for Dublin is the figure of Hibernia, a seated woman holding a harp. Seeing this unique and beautiful mark instantly tells you that your piece has Irish heritage, connecting it to a long and rich tradition of Celtic art and craftsmanship. It adds a layer of cultural identity to the piece, which can be especially meaningful for those with Irish roots. These national marks provide a wonderful sense of place, rooting the jewelry to the culture and artisans that produced it. Even more special are the commemorative marks. These are limited edition stamps added to the hallmark for a short period to celebrate a significant national event. In the UK, these marks have been used to honor royal milestones like coronations, jubilees, and weddings. For example, in 1977, a special mark of Queen Elizabeth II's head in profile was added to items hallmarked during her Silver Jubilee year. More recently, a mark was created for her Platinum Jubilee in 2022. These marks are only used for that specific year, making any item that bears them an instant and verifiable commemorative collectible. Finding a piece with a commemorative mark is always a treat. It not only dates the item precisely to a single year but also ties it directly to a famous historical event. It becomes more than just jewelry, it becomes a souvenir of history. A simple silver box becomes a Silver Jubilee box, a gold ring becomes a coronation ring. For collectors, these pieces are highly sought after as they represent a finite production. When you're out treasure hunting, always keep an eye out for these rare and special stamps. They are a celebration of history, captured forever in precious metal. While our main focus has been on gold, it is essential to understand that other precious metals are also hallmarked with their own unique systems. Knowing these marks is crucial because, honestly, a piece you think is white gold might actually be platinum, or vice versa. The United Kingdom, for instance, has a complete system for silver, platinum, and palladium. The most famous of these is the hallmark for sterling silver. The traditional symbol for sterling silver in England is the lion passant, a walking lion. When you see this lion, you know the piece is at least 92.5% pure silver, which is the sterling standard. This is always accompanied by the numeric fineness mark 925. Platinum, a metal prized for its strength, rarity, and naturally white color, also has its own set of hallmarks. In the UK system, the purity of platinum is indicated by a numeric mark, most commonly 950. This means the item is 95% pure platinum. This is often accompanied by a pictorial symbol, which looks like an orb topped with a cross. When you see this mark, you know you are dealing with high-purity platinum, a metal that is even rarer and often more expensive than gold. Other common platinum fineness marks include 900 and 850. Recognizing these marks prevents you from mistaking a valuable platinum ring for a less expensive white gold one. A more recent addition to the hallmarking family is palladium. A member of the platinum group of metals, palladium is lightweight, hypoallergenic, and has a bright white luster that doesn't require rhodium plating. Hallmarking for palladium became a legal requirement in the UK in 2010. The fineness is shown with a numeric mark, typically 950 or 500, and the compulsory symbol is the head of Pallas Athene, the Greek goddess. As palladium has grown in popularity for wedding bands, especially for men, being able to identify this mark has become increasingly important for modern jewelry buyers. Understanding the full spectrum of precious metal hallmarks makes you a much more versatile and knowledgeable connoisseur. It allows you to confidently identify and value not just gold, but a whole range of fine jewelry. The principles are the same. The marks are there to protect you and to guarantee the composition and quality of the item. Whether you see a crown, a lion, an orb, or the head of a goddess, you can be confident that you are looking at a system designed to provide trust and transparency across the entire world of precious metals. Now we venture into a darker but absolutely essential part of our journey. The world of fakes and forgeries. A genuine hallmark is a stamp of integrity, but devious individuals will always try to mimic it to pass off inferior goods as the real deal. Fortunately, these forgeries often have telltale signs that you can spot with a careful eye. The most common giveaway is the quality of the stamp itself. A legitimate hallmark, applied with precision steel punches at an official assay office, is crisp, clear, and has a good depth. The edges of the letters, numbers, and symbols are sharp and well defined. You should be able to read them clearly with a good quality 10 times jeweler's loupe. It's a mark of professional quality. In contrast, a fake hallmark often looks mushy or soft. The edges of the stamps may appear blurry, uneven, or indistinct. This can happen when a counterfeit stamp is cast from a mold of a real one, a process that loses the fine detail, or when it is crudely engraved by hand or with a low-quality laser. Look for inconsistencies in the depth of the mark. Some parts might be deep while others are barely visible. Pay attention to the spacing. Genuine hallmarks are applied with care, and the symbols are typically well aligned and evenly spaced. A fake might have marks that are crooked, overlapping, or awkwardly crammed together. These signs of sloppiness are a huge red flag. Another crucial area to examine is the shape and font of the marks. This is especially important for systems with complex symbols like the UK's. Forgers often get the small details wrong. For example, they might use the wrong shape of shield for a particular date letter or assay office. The leopard's head for London might look more like a generic cat, or the anchor for Birmingham might be poorly formed. It's vital to have a reliable reference chart on hand. Compare every detail of the hallmark on the item to the known genuine examples. Does the font of the date letter match? Is the crown or orb symbol correctly proportioned? Any deviation, no matter how small, is a cause for serious suspicion. Finally, consider the method of application. Most hallmarks are punched into the metal, which displaces the gold and leaves a characteristic raised bruise or halo on the metal around the mark. While this isn't always visible, its presence can be a good sign. Be particularly wary of hallmarks that appear to be laser engraved, especially on antique pieces. While modern laser marking is legitimate, counterfeiters use cheap lasers that leave a very shallow, often pixelated-looking mark with a different texture to the surrounding metal. A laser-engraved hallmark on a piece that is supposed to be from the 19th century is an obvious impossibility. Trust your eyes. If the quality of the mark doesn't match the supposed quality of the piece, something is wrong. Spotting fakes goes beyond just looking at the stamp itself. You have to become a detective and look at the context. The hallmark must make sense for the piece it's on. One of the biggest red flags is a hallmark that is inconsistent with the item's style, construction, or apparent age. For example, if you find a beautiful Art Deco style ring, which was popular in the 1920s and 30s, but the hallmark has a date letter for 1985, the story doesn't add up. It's either a modern reproduction in an older style, or one of the elements, the style or the hallmark, is a fabrication. An authentic piece will have a logical consistency between its design, its wear, and its hallmark. Another contextual clue is the location and placement of the hallmark. Legitimate jewelers take care to place hallmarks in discreet but accessible locations, such as the inside of a ring shank, on the back of a pendant, or on the clasp of a necklace. They are placed with precision, not as an afterthought. Be suspicious of hallmarks that are placed in strange or prominent locations, such as the front of the piece, where they would interfere with the design. Also, look out for hallmarks that appear to be on a separate small plate of gold that has been soldered onto a larger piece of base metal jewelry. This is a common trick used by forgers to add a genuine hallmark to a fake item. The wear and tear on the hallmark should also be consistent with the wear on the rest of the jewelry. On a genuinely old and well-worn ring, you would expect the hallmark on the inside of the shank to be somewhat softened and worn down, just like the rest of the band. If you see a piece that shows significant signs of age and wear, but the hallmark inside is perfectly crisp and new-looking, you should be highly suspicious. This could indicate that a fake hallmark was added to a piece of old, non-precious metal jewelry much later in its life to deceive a potential buyer. The story told by the wear patterns must be a consistent one. Finally, always question the improbable. If you find a full set of British hallmarks, including a maker's mark for a famous London silversmith, stamped onto a crudely made piece that looks like it came from a tourist stall, be skeptical. High-end makers do not produce low-quality goods. Similarly, if you see a hallmark for 22-karat gold, 916, on a delicate ring with intricate prong settings holding a diamond, it's a red flag. As we've learned, 22-karat gold is generally too soft for such delicate work. When the hallmark tells a story that seems too good or too strange to be true, it almost certainly is. Always trust your common sense and the knowledge you have gained. The risks of buying fake or falsely hallmarked gold go far beyond simple disappointment. The most immediate and obvious risk is financial. You could end up paying a significant amount of money based on the belief that you are buying a solid 18-karat gold antique, only to discover later that you have purchased a worthless piece of gold-plated brass. The financial loss can be substantial, especially if the purchase was intended as an investment. The entire purpose of the hallmarking system is to prevent this exact scenario, and falling for a fake means you have been a victim of fraud, plain and simple. It's your hard-earned money down the drain. Beyond the initial financial loss, there are other hidden costs and risks. One of these is the potential for allergic reactions. Reputable jewelers use specific, high-quality alloys when making gold jewelry. Counterfeiters, however, are not bound by any standards. To mimic the weight and color of gold, they often use cheap base metals, which can include known allergens like nickel. Someone who buys a fake piece believing it to be hypoallergenic 18-karat gold might suffer from severe skin irritation, rashes, or dermatitis. This is particularly dangerous for items worn in piercings like earrings, where the allergenic metal is in direct contact with the bloodstream. There is also the risk of damage to other items and a complete lack of durability. A genuine gold chain is strong and will last for years, but a gold-plated fake can wear through in a matter of weeks or months. The thin gold layer will rub off, revealing the ugly base metal beneath, which can tarnish and even stain your skin or clothing green or black. Imagine trusting a beautiful but fake gold chain to hold a cherished and valuable family heirloom pendant. If the chain breaks due to its poor quality, you could lose the pendant forever. The knock-on effects of a single counterfeit purchase can be far more costly than just the price of the item itself. Finally, buying counterfeit goods, even unknowingly, helps to fuel a criminal industry. The people who produce and sell fake hallmark jewelry are engaged in illegal deception. The profits from these activities can be linked to other forms of crime. By being a vigilant and informed buyer, you are not only protecting yourself, but you are also refusing to support these illicit enterprises. You are upholding the integrity of the centuries-old system of hallmarking that was designed to protect everyone. The risks are simply too high to take a chance. Thoroughly checking for authenticity is not just smart, it's a responsible act. So, how do you arm yourself against these risks and navigate the market with confidence? The first and most golden rule is to always buy from a reputable dealer. Whether it's a high street jeweler, a trusted antique dealer, or a well-regarded online platform, a seller's reputation is their most valuable asset. Reputable dealers stand behind their products. They will have clear return policies, offer certificates of authenticity for high-value items, and will be happy to answer your questions and let you inspect the piece thoroughly. Avoid deals that seem too good to be true from anonymous sellers at flea markets or unverified online profiles, as this is where the fakes most often lurk. Always use a jeweler's loupe. This inexpensive tool is your best friend when it comes to inspecting hallmarks. A 10 times magnification is standard and will allow you to see the fine details of the stamps clearly. Don't be shy about using it, even in a fancy shop. A genuine seller will respect your diligence. Take your time, examine every part of the hallmark. Look for the signs of authenticity we've discussed. Crisp edges, consistent depth, and correct fonts and shapes. Compare what you see with a reliable hallmark chart on your phone or from a book. This single, simple practice can save you from a world of trouble. Paperwork and documentation are your allies. For any significant purchase, especially a branded or high-value antique piece, ask for documentation. This could be an original receipt, a certificate from the brand, or a formal appraisal from a qualified gemologist. While paper can also be forged, it adds another layer to the story that you can verify. The absence of any documentation for an item that should have it is a red flag. A legitimate seller should be able to provide some form of provenance or guarantee for what they are selling. If they are evasive or have no information, it's best to walk away. Finally, trust your instincts, but be prepared to verify them. If a piece feels wrong, if the weight seems too light for its size, if the color looks slightly off, or if your gut is just telling you something is amiss, listen to that feeling. However, don't rely on instinct alone. The ultimate confirmation is a test. If you have any doubts about a major purchase, you can make the sale conditional on the piece passing a test at a neutral third-party jeweler or appraiser. A simple acid test or an electronic tester can confirm the gold's purity in minutes. A seller who is confident in their product will have no issue with this. Test before you trust, and you will always buy with confidence. Right, so you found a piece of jewelry. You've scrutinized the hallmark with your loupe, and it looks promising, but you still have a little niggle, a little doubt in your mind. Before you even think about more advanced methods, there are a few simple tests you can do at home, or even discreetly at a market stall that won't harm the piece in any way. These are your first line of defense. The first and simplest of all is the magnet test. Gold, like silver and platinum, is not a magnetic metal, so, if you have a strong magnet and the piece of jewelry snaps right to it, you have a problem. It's a dead giveaway that the item is made of a ferrous base metal like iron or steel with just a thin gold plating on top. Now, a word of caution on the magnet test. Just because the item doesn't stick to the magnet, it doesn't automatically mean it's genuine gold. Many common base metals used in counterfeit jewelry such as brass, copper, zinc, or aluminum are also non-magnetic. So, the magnet test is really a test for fakes, not a test for authenticity. Think of it as a quick way to weed out the most obvious imposters. It's a great initial screening tool. If it fails the magnet test, you can walk away immediately. If it passes, it simply means you need to move on to the next level of investigation to confirm its true nature. Another simple, non-destructive test you can perform is a density test. Although this is a bit more involved. This is based on the principle discovered by the ancient Greek scholar Archimedes. Gold is one of the densest metals on Earth. A piece of pure gold is almost twice as dense as a piece of lead of the same size. By measuring the item's weight in the air and then its weight when submerged in water, you can calculate its specific gravity, or density. You can then compare this calculated density to the known densities of different gold carats. A low-density reading would suggest the piece is not solid gold, or that it is a much lower carat than hallmarked. While the density test is scientifically sound, it can be tricky to perform accurately at home without a precise digital scale, and it works best on simple, solid items without any gemstones, as the stones will throw off the calculation. For a quick and rough assessment, you can simply feel the weight in your hand. An experienced hand can often feel when something is wrong. A large, chunky-looking piece that feels unusually light for its size is a major red flag. This heft test isn't scientific, but combined with a visual inspection and the magnet test, it helps to build a more complete picture before you proceed to more definitive testing methods. The acid scratch test is a classic quick way to check gold's carat. Rub the item on a testing stone, apply the right acid, and watch the reaction. If the streak stays, the gold matches that carat. If it dissolves, try a lower carat acid. Always use gloves and caution. Acids are dangerous, but this method is a jeweler's go-to for fast, reliable results. Electronic gold testers use electrical conductivity to quickly estimate gold purity. Just touch the probe and get a digital carat reading. For ultimate accuracy, XRF analyzers use X-rays to reveal the exact metal composition, but they're expensive and mostly for professionals. Both methods are non-destructive and ideal for fast, confident testing. The fire assay is the gold standard for accuracy, literally. A small sample is melted, separated, and weighed in a lab, giving a precise purity reading. It's destructive and only done by professionals, but it's the foundation of official hallmarks and industry trust. Before buying gold, always see, feel, and question. Inspect the hallmark with a loupe, check the weight and finish, and ask the seller about the item's history. This simple checklist protects you from mistakes and turns you into a smart, confident buyer. At an antiques fair you spot a heavy gold ring. Using your checklist and loop, you confirm the hallmark 9-carat Birmingham, 1976. With this knowledge you assess the price, negotiate confidently, and buy with certainty, proof that expertise turns risk into reward. Here's another common situation. A relative gives you a beautiful, delicate-looking gold necklace that has been in the family for years. It has immense sentimental value, but you're curious about its actual material and monetary worth. The piece is a fine chain with a small pendant. It has the warm color of gold, but it feels quite light. There are no obvious signs of wear or discoloration. You decide to investigate, not to sell it, but simply to understand its story better and to know how to care for it properly. You begin your search for the hallmark, knowing that on a necklace, it will most likely be on the clasp or on the small tag next to it. After a careful search with your loop, you find a tiny stamp on the connecting ring next to the clasp. The letters are very small, but you can just make them out. 1/20th 14 kgf. Your heart doesn't sink, because you have done your homework, and you know exactly what this means. This is not a fake, nor is it a worthless piece of plated junk. The GF stands for gold fill, and the 1/20th 14K tells you that the piece is constructed with a thick, durable layer of 14-karat gold that makes up at least 5% of the item's total weight. This explains why it has held up so well over the years, with no signs of the gold wearing off. This discovery informs you about both its value and its care. You now know that while it isn't solid 14-karat gold, it is a high-quality piece with a significant layer of real gold. Its monetary value is much lower than a solid gold chain, but significantly higher than a simple gold-plated item. More importantly, you now know how to care for it. Because it has a thick layer of 14-karat gold, you can clean it with more confidence than a plated piece, using mild soap and water or a soft polishing cloth to keep it looking its best. You can wear it regularly without the fear of the gold finish rubbing off quickly. In this case, deciphering the hallmark didn't uncover a hidden fortune, but it provided something just as valuable: clarity and knowledge. It replaced uncertainty with facts. You can now fully appreciate the heirloom for what it is: a well-made, durable piece of vintage jewelry that has stood the test of time. You understand its material history, which adds another layer to its sentimental family history. This knowledge empowers you to be a better custodian of the piece, ensuring it can be passed down to the next generation in the best possible condition with its complete story intact. As we conclude this act, let's distill our learnings into a few unforgettable golden rules for buying. The first and most important rule is this: the hallmark is your most trusted friend, but you must verify its authenticity. This is the essence of the phrase, trust, but verify. Trust in the centuries-old hallmarking system as a concept, but always verify that the specific mark you are looking at is legitimate. Check for crispness, clarity, and consistency. Compare it against known examples. The system is designed to protect you, but only if you use the information it provides, and ensure that the mark itself is not a forgery. Blind trust is a recipe for disaster. The second golden rule is to always match the hallmark to the story and the price. The hallmark, the item's style, its condition, and the seller's asking price should all tell a consistent and logical story. If a seller tells you a ring is a rare 18th century antique but it has a hallmark for 9-karat gold from 1980, the story falls apart. If an item is priced as if it were solid 22-karat gold, but the hallmark reads 585, the price is wrong. Let the hallmark be your anchor of fact in a sea of sales talk and appearances. If there are any contradictions, walk away or demand a much better explanation and a price that reflects the facts you have uncovered. The third golden rule is to never stop learning. The world of jewelry, antiques, and hallmarks is vast and endlessly fascinating. There are always new makers' marks to discover, different international systems to learn about, and new forging techniques to be aware of. Read books, watch videos like this one, join online forums, and talk to experienced dealers and collectors. The more you learn, the sharper your eye will become, and the more confident you will be in your assessments. Every piece you examine is a learning opportunity. This knowledge is an investment that will pay for itself many times over throughout your buying journey. Finally, the fourth golden rule is to buy what you love, but love what you buy with your eyes wide open. Ultimately, The joy of jewelry comes from wearing and cherishing it. If a 9-carat gold ring or a beautiful gold-filled locket speaks to you, then that is a wonderful purchase. The goal of understanding hallmarks is not to become a gold snob who only values the highest purity. The goal is to ensure that you know exactly what you are buying and that you are paying a fair price for it. When you buy with knowledge, you eliminate future regret and can truly love your purchase for what it is, with a full appreciation of its history, material, and true worth. Well, my friends, we have reached the end of our magnificent journey together. We have traveled through time, from the very first stirrings of consumer protection in the 13th century, right up to the high-tech methods of today. We have explored the globe, from the grand assay offices of Great Britain to the bustling gold souks of Dubai. We have become detectives, learning to decipher the numbers, letters, and secret symbols hidden on our most treasured possessions. At the heart of it all, we have discovered that a hallmark is so much more than just a simple stamp. It is the final word in a long story of trust, a tradition forged over centuries to protect both the buyer and the honest maker. It's a truly remarkable system. Think back to a time before these marks existed, a world where the glint of gold could hide a multitude of sins. A buyer had nothing but the seller's word to rely on, making every transaction a risky gamble. The creation of the hallmarking system was a revolutionary act. It was a declaration that the value of precious metals should be based on verifiable fact, not on hopeful guesswork. This legacy endures because the fundamental need for trust has not changed. In a world that is constantly changing, the hallmark remains a steadfast anchor of integrity. It is a promise, struck in metal, that what you are holding is genuine, pure, and true to its name. This enduring legacy is a testament to human ingenuity and our desire for a fair and honest marketplace. The system has adapted and evolved, embracing new metals like palladium and new technologies like laser marking, but its core purpose has remained unwavering. It connects the artisan who is proud of their work with the consumer who seeks quality. It allows a tiny independent jeweler in a small workshop to have their work certified to the very same standard as a giant international luxury brand. It is a great leveler, a democratic system where quality is the only thing that matters. This is why it has survived and thrived for over 700 years. As we look back on everything we have learned, from the meaning of 750 to the secrets of the date letter, I want you to appreciate the profound history behind these tiny marks. Every time you spot a hallmark on a piece of jewelry, you are looking at the result of a long, unbroken chain of tradition. You are seeing a system that has protected kings and commoners alike, a system that has outlasted empires and seen countless fashions come and go. It's a quiet but powerful legacy, and now you are a part of it. You are a guardian of that knowledge, able to read the story that the gold has been waiting to tell you. You might be thinking, this is all fascinating history, David, but what does it really mean for me today, right now? It means everything. In today's global marketplace, with online auctions, international sellers, and countless shops all vying for your attention, this knowledge is more important than it has ever been. It is your shield and your sword. It is your shield against the fakes, the forgeries, and the fraudsters who want to part you from your money with a worthless piece of plated metal. It is your sword to cut through confusing sales talk and get to the heart of what an item is really worth. This knowledge empowers you in every single transaction. Every time you walk into a jeweler's shop, an antique fair, or even a charity shop, you now carry a secret weapon. You carry the ability to see what others cannot. While someone else might just see a pretty ring, you see its purity, its origin, and perhaps even its age. You can assess its value with a level of confidence you never had before. This turns shopping from a passive activity into an active treasure hunt. You are no longer just a consumer, you are a connoisseur, an expert in the making. The thrill of finding a genuine bargain because you could read the story hidden in the hallmark is a feeling that never gets old. It's a real Bobby Dazzler of a moment. This knowledge also enriches your appreciation for the jewelry you already own. Go and look at your own collection. Examine the heirlooms passed down from your grandmother, the ring you received for a special birthday, the watch you cherish. Find the hallmarks, decipher their meaning. You might discover that a piece you thought was simple costume jewelry is actually 9-carat gold, or that a ring you love was made in Birmingham in the year your mother was born. This process breathes new life and a deeper story into these objects, strengthening your personal connection to them. They cease to be just things and become tangible pieces of your own history. Ultimately, this knowledge gives you independence. You are no longer solely reliant on the seller's tag or their word. You can make your own judgments. You can question, you can verify, and you can walk away from a bad deal with your head held high. You can negotiate a fair price based on facts, not feelings. In the world of gold, knowledge truly is power, and the information we have covered in this guide has put that power directly into your hands. Use it wisely, use it confidently, and use it to build a collection of beautiful pieces that you will cherish for a lifetime, knowing the true story of every single one. What does the future hold for our trusted hallmarks? While the tradition is ancient, the system is far from static. It is constantly evolving to meet the challenges of the modern world. One of the biggest drivers of change is technology. We are already seeing the impact of this with advanced marking techniques. High-precision lasers can now apply hallmarks that are incredibly detailed and small, perfect for delicate or lightweight pieces where a traditional punch mark would cause distortion. These laser marks can also incorporate complex security features like microtext or QR codes, making them much harder for counterfeiters to replicate, adding a new layer of security to the system. Another exciting development is the integration of digital technology, as we have seen with India's Hallmark Unique Identification System. Imagine a future where every hallmark is linked to a secure digital certificate stored on a blockchain. You could scan a mark on a ring with your smartphone and instantly see its entire history: the maker, the assay office, the date of hallmarking, and even its previous owners if they chose to record it. This would create an unprecedented level of transparency and provenance, making it virtually impossible to sell a stolen or counterfeit item. It's a future where the physical hallmark and the digital world work hand in hand to create ultimate trust. The future will also see hallmarking adapt to new materials and consumer demands. As concerns about sustainability and ethical sourcing grow, we may see the development of new marks that certify the origin of the metal. Imagine a hallmark that not only guarantees purity but also certifies that the gold was recycled or mined according to strict environmental and fair trade standards. This would allow consumers to align their purchases with their values, adding a new important dimension to the story the hallmark tells. The system will evolve to answer the questions that future generations of buyers will be asking. Despite all this new technology, the fundamental principle of the hallmark will remain. The need for a simple, visible, physical mark of quality on the item itself is unlikely to disappear. It is a universal language that doesn't require a special scanner or an internet connection to be understood. The future of hallmarking will likely be a beautiful blend of the old and the new. It will be a fusion of centuries-old craft and cutting-edge technology, of timeless symbols and secure digital records. The goal will be the same as it was in the year 1300, to provide a clear, unambiguous, and trustworthy guarantee of quality. Our time together may be drawing to a close, but your personal adventure in the world of gold and hallmarks is just beginning. I have given you the map and the compass, but it is up to you to explore the territory. The best way to solidify your new knowledge is to put it into practice. Start looking for hallmarks everywhere. Ask to see them on jewelry and shops. Examine the pieces your friends and family own. Visit museums and look at the marks on antique silver and gold. The more hallmarks you see, the more familiar you will become with their variations, their feel, and their stories. Turn the world into your classroom. Do not let your learning stop here. This guide has been your A to Z, but there is always more to discover. There are thousands of makers' marks, each with a unique history. There are subtle variations in hallmarking laws from countries all around the world. Dive deeper into the areas that fascinate you most. Buy a good reference book on hallmarks. Join an online forum for jewelry collectors and share your finds. The community of people who are passionate about this subject is warm, welcoming, and full of incredible expertise. The more you engage, the more you will learn, and the more rewarding your hobby will become. Most importantly, have fun with it. Let your curiosity be your guide. Allow yourself the thrill of the hunt, the joy of discovery, and the satisfaction of making a smart, informed purchase. Whether your passion is for sleek modern designs, intricate Victorian lockets, or bold Art Deco pieces, your understanding of hallmarks will enrich your experience in countless ways. It adds an intellectual layer to the pure aesthetic pleasure of jewelry, It's a puzzle to be solved, a story to be read, and a history to be uncovered, all in an object you can hold in the palm of your hand. What could be more exciting than that? I want to hear about your adventures. I want to see your discoveries. Use the comments section below this video to share your stories. Ask questions about mystery hallmarks you've found. Post pictures of your favorite pieces and what you've learned about them. Let's build a community of informed enthusiasts right here, helping each other to learn and grow. Your journey is just starting, and every piece of jewelry you examine is a new chapter waiting to be read. So get your loupe ready, keep your eyes peeled, and go out there and find some real treasures. The world is full of them. So there we have it. We have demystified the secret language of gold. Those tiny stamps that once seemed so cryptic are now clear to you. You understand the numbers of purity, the letters of process, and the symbols of place and time. You know how to spot a fake, how to test for truth, and how to buy with confidence. You have gained a skill that will last you a lifetime, a skill that protects your pocket and enriches your passion. It has been an absolute pleasure to be your guide on this glittering expedition, and I am so proud of the knowledge you have acquired. You are ready. Remember that every piece of gold you encounter from now on has a story to tell, and you now have the key to unlock it. Treat every purchase, every examination, as an opportunity to use your newfound expertise. Build your confidence one piece at a time. Start small. Trust your knowledge, but always be willing to verify. The confidence you gain from successfully identifying your first antique hallmark or spotting your first fake is a wonderful feeling, and it will propel you forward on your journey as a collector and connoisseur. Your golden future is bright. I sincerely hope you've enjoyed our time together as much as I have. If you found this guide helpful and inspiring, please do give this video a like. It truly helps others to find it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more journeys into the fascinating world of antiques and collectibles. And as I've said, I genuinely want to hear from you. Please leave a comment below with any questions you still have about hallmarks, or share a story about a piece you own. I will do my very best to read them and help where I can. Thank you once again for joining me. The world of gold is a world of beauty, of history, and of value. With the knowledge you now possess, you can navigate it with skill and with joy. May all your future purchases be genuine, may all your deals be fair, and may you find many Bobby Dazzlers along the way. Until next time, take care, and happy hunting.